Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to Build. This is my third time presenting here. Definitely very happy to be at my favorite developer conference. And for this session, we are going to talk about media services. And my name is Mingfei, and I work in Redmond as a program manager for Windows Azure Media Service, Microsoft Azure Media Services. And today, I'm really honored to have Mariano, who works in Salesforce as a lead developer, which they helped us a lot on building the service as well. And I will leave him to introduce himself later when he's on stage. So today we have a lot to talk about. First of all, I'll give you guys an overview of what is Azure Media Services, and we will go into detail about video on-demand service, okay? Some of the typical media workflow, dynamic packaging, and also a very new area that we are doing right now, secure delivery. So I'm going to talk about some preview feature in this section. And lastly, we are going to touch on live streaming service. How does that work? Okay, so we have a really packed agenda today. Before going into talking about the service, I always want to talk a little bit more about this media industry, why this is the most exciting moment, deserve our focus on video delivery. Video right now has contributed more than 57% of internet traffic, up 6% up since I presented last time. You may not care about how does the fox sound, but apparently a lot of people do. This year, the time people spend watching on What Does the Fox Say and Miley Cyrus exceed 100,000 hours. That's how video could get viral on the internet. Especially when everyone could contribute video, there are massive quantity of video hits the web, not only casual video, but also long-form content. And I would say 2013 is the time that traditional TV and cable companies started to get real threat from the new wave of connected TV, streaming gadgets, as well as all the OVPs. They definitely provide way better viewing experience compared to the traditional TV. You got to say exactly what you want in the same viewing experience. Everyone knows that more screen, if you can reach out to more screen, it may lead to more viewership. However, we all know being able to deliver high quality video for any device, anywhere, anytime is never easy. There are a lot of challenges. How do you manage your infrastructure cost? How do you monetize the content? And also, if you have a movie from the studio, how do you make sure the movie is protected from piracy? So all these things require you to have a more agile, scalable, and cost-effective service. And that's why we have media services here that we believe we can help your business to deliver a better video experience. So what exactly is Microsoft Media Services? We build on top of Windows Azure platform, similar to any other service, that we utilize the compute power, the storage of the platform itself, and we are platform as a service. We offer developer a REST API to programmatically access our media services. We allow business to build highly customizable media workflow, including bringing your assets into the cloud, transcode it into certain format, package it for streaming purpose, put on content protection if necessary. We have Vault workflow available for a while, and we are bringing live streaming capability into the platform as well. And you can see there are advertising, live encoding, analytics. Those are things on the future roadmap that we wanted to do. We also encourage media partners and customers to build on top of REST API. One of the examples is Windows Azure Portal. They are considered a built-on partner, so customer can just click a few buttons and they would be able to access to our service. We ensure that your video bits can be delivered from the edge through Azure CDN or any partner CDNs. And lastly, and also the most important part, that we offer a spectrum of client SDK allows developer to quickly build a video application on various devices and platforms for free. So now let's take a look at video on demand service. What's the typical workflow? So first of all, you got to bring the media content from your local disk into our cloud storage. So we will store your video in a virtual format of assets in Azure Blob. However, being able to ingest a large mezzanine assets is never a trivial job. First of all, we could pre-encrypt your file before uploading, so the integrity of the file doesn't get jeopardized during transmission. We offer free, secure HTTPS upload, but you could also choose a network-level peering for fast HTTP. Or even better, you can, through Windows Store, to use our partner Azure solution to use UDP upload fast, uploading your content into the data center. And secondly, you may want to do some transformation on the video file that you put up into our storage. And we offer you the capability to use our encoder to encode the content. And however, by default, you are getting a shared encoding unit, which means if you have a lot of encoding job, you may expect it to queue or to queue after someone else's encoding job. However, you also have the choice if you want to say, I got to have my own encoding box. I don't want to wait for others. You can do that too through encoding reserve unit. That you can say, I want 3 encoding reserve units. Therefore, you can run 3 encoding jobs at the same time. And the box will only have your encoding job. And here is more of the spec of what type of encoding profile we offer. And you can see those are pretty standard industry codecs such as H.264 or AAC-LC. Okay, and we also enable you to package content into multi-bitrate MP4, smooth streaming, HTTP live streaming, and you can put up content protection as well. And lastly, we also onboard third-party encoder into the platform. If you want to use digital rapids encoding, you will have the option to do that as well. They are listed as an encoding partner in Windows Azure Store. Okay? And lastly is the simplest part is to make it content available for streaming, where we provide you an origin server. And that was where the bits will be available for all your customers to watch the content. And similar thing, you could have a shared model with someone else, but if their video goes viral, it may affect your bandwidth of your video delivery. However, you have the choice to have a streaming reserve unit, which means you have your own origin box to deliver your content. In that case, we give you guaranteed bandwidth for your video streaming delivery. Okay? So this is how the video on demand workflow works. I know it's pretty fast. Are you guys with me? Okay? And now I'm going to, before going into the demo, I want to show you a little bit about the pricing, which, as I talked just now, we have 2 models. One is a shared model, which means everyone can access that encoding box, and it is charged at $1.99 per gigabytes encoding. And you also have the choice to get a $99 per month reserve encoding box, prorated on daily basis, which means if I have that box myself for a day, I only pay for $3. Okay? And similarly, for streaming service, we also offer a shared model that you share your streaming server with someone else, or you can have your own reserved streaming unit. Okay, that's fairly straightforward. And let me show you a little demo for the portal. My laptop is, okay, this is mine. All right, so I believe some of you guys have seen this. This is the portal for Windows Azure, and you can find media services here, okay? And you will have the option to quickly create a media services account. And one thing to notice is there are 8 data centers right now available for you to choose from. And Japan East and Japan West are 2 data centers we just added last week. So it's really a good time. Which I will just choose a existing account. Under the content tab, that was where all your video file gets stored. It directly linked to a blob storage. And we could go ahead and upload a file. So I will just quickly choose one and click on OK. So now what's going on is a video file from my local desktop is getting transferred into the cloud storage. And the file should show up in a minute. So it's already in the system. And I could quickly choose to encode the media file, which I have a lot of presets here in the portal, and which I will just choose one multi-bit rate MP4. I will do a quick rename. And after I said OK, if we go to the job tab, you can see that the encoding job is getting started. Okay? And also, there was 2 more things I want to point out. First of all, is in the encoding tab. Here is the way you can choose your reserved encoding units. You can say, I want more encoding units. You can just do that. And also, under the origin tab, that was where you can choose your dedicated reserved streaming server in the scale tab. My mouse is too fast. Okay. So I can say 3 units. I want to guarantee 600 megabytes per second bandwidth for my video delivery. Okay? Very straightforward. And I will just leave the portal for now because Mariano later on is going to use the video assets I just encoded to demonstrate the SDK. So let's come back to the slides. So you may ask, is portal the only way I access the service? The answer is definitely no. We have so many, starting from REST API. We also have .NET, PHP, Java, PowerShell, Node.js. Allows you to build all kinds of applications to integrate this video workflow. And before going into an SDK demo that Mariano will do, I want to highlight one feature. This is by far the most attractive feature that we have shipped on the platform. Also make us competitive in the industry. It's called dynamic packaging. So what dynamic packaging is? So we got to talk about what's the traditional way of doing it. You have a video file, and you encode the video file into multi-bit rate MP4. And we all know there are many adaptive streaming formats out there. If you want to serve out to iOS devices, HLS, or smooth streaming to PC-based devices, you go to package them and store the packaged streaming formats, and then serve out the content to various platforms through origin server. So in this case, you encode your media and save them in multiple formats to deal with the fragmentation of adaptive streaming formats. However, the new way of doing it for dynamic packaging is you still firstly got to encode the content. However, after that, you are done. There is no more video content you need to store on the disk. Instead, you just let our origin server know what format you want, and we actually package the content on the fly for you. Okay? So we take input format as MP4 or smooth streaming, and we do output format as smooth streaming, HLS, both V4 and V3, and also MPEG-Dash. So the key difference between these two is, first of all, you save the intermediate step to package your content. That's definitely time and money. And secondly, you save on storage costs. For the first solution, you got to store the media in multiple formats. But for the second one, you only store your media in one copy, and all the other bits are dynamically produced. Because we all know the media assets usually are very big. So that's the most advantage for using dynamic packaging is your storage cost saving. Okay? And you may notice that one of the catch is you need to have at least one reserved streaming unit to enable dynamic packaging. So later on, if you go back home, you try the demo, it doesn't work, remember what I said, you got to use at least one reserved streaming unit. And you may notice there is one v3 that I highlighted there. Why this is special? Because for Android device, they only support HLS v3, and we just made it available last week as well. So definitely some new feature that we're going to show in Mariano's demo.
Okay, thanks, Mingfei. Hello, everyone. My name is Mariano Converti. I'm a lead developer at Southworks. Southworks is a Microsoft partner that has been working closely to the Azure Media Services team since the early beginning of the product. Okay, and now I'm going to show you a quick demo. This is of how to create a BOD workflow using the Azure Media Services SDK. So I have prepared a console application. The first thing to do is to install the SDK, right? The SDK library. This can be done through the NuGet Package Manager. So here I will type Azure Media Services. And as you can see, there are two different SDKs available for .NET. The first one is the default SDK. So by using this library, you will have full support for all the Media Services REST API operations. And the other one is an extension library that goes on top of the default SDK. This library was started as an open source initiative by Southworks, provides higher level functionality on top of the SDK classes to make it even easier to write this kind of BOD workflows. So I have already installed these NuGet packages to save some time for the presentation. Let's go to the code. Okay. The workflow will consist on 4 steps. The first one is to connect to the Media Services account. So I have a code snippet for this. In order to do that, you create an instance of the Cloud Media Context class. This is the main point of access to all the SDK functionality. And you need to have the Media Services account name and account key that you get from the portal. I have them there in this region. Next thing is to get the asset, right? So I will query the asset that was transcoded by Mingfei in the previous demo. I will query by the name she used, but usually in a production workflow, you will use the ID because the ID is a unique field. Now that I have the asset, I will publish the asset so it is available for adaptive streaming through the origin, right? So to do this, you create an on-demand origin locator, right? You can optionally create a SAS locator. And I don't know if you're familiar with Azure Storage. A SAS locator is a shared access signature URL to the blob container where the asset files are located. So the SAS locator will let you enable progressive download of each of the individual MP4 files in your asset. Okay, and finally, I have the asset, I have the locator. Let's generate the dynamic packaging URLs for the different formats. So this can be done by using some of the extension methods we have in the SDK, in the extension SDK. This will get the smooth streaming URL, the HLS, and the MPEG dash, right? Okay, we are done with the code. We are ready to run this. But before running, let me show you a site we have prepared for this demo. Okay, this site lists all the assets that are published in our media service account. As you can see, no assets are published. So let's run the workflow and see what happens. Okay, this should take only a few seconds. Okay, that's it. Okay, these are all the URLs that will enable the different streaming formats. As you can see, they are very similar. The only difference is the format parameter at the end, right? So let me go back to the site and refresh. And here is our adapted bitrate MP4 asset. So I'm going to play this video. It is a Bill Gates viral video about the gatesletter.com site. I know you probably know it. Let me show you.
I want to get the word out for gatesletter.com. How can we help to get people to go to that website?
Well, it'd be great if we could create a viral video.
A viral video? I mean, but it's hard to do stuff like that. I mean, like, it's hard to make a viral video. Like, what would you have in mind?
Oh, something like this. Gatesletter.com. Gatesletter.com. Gatesletter.com.
Okay.
Gatesletter.com. Gatesletter.com.
Okay, well, you can see the whole video later. Okay, now in this side, I'm using, as you can see here, a smooth streaming as the main, the full format for streaming. And I am using a Flash player with a smooth streaming OSMF plugin. But I can also switch to the MPEG tab.
I want to get the word out
and I will have the same video. But this time, I will be using an HTML5 player. This is the Dash.js player. I don't know if you are familiar with. This is JavaScript open source player that uses the media source extension of the video element to enable adaptive streaming. Okay, so here below it is the URL that we are using. For example, this is the parameter that enable MPEG Dash, right? Let me zoom in. There you go. Okay, so here we show smooth streaming and MPEG Dash. Let me show you how HLS v3 works. I have my Android device here. Can you switch? Cool. Okay, so I have the same site here in my Android device. I will refresh it. This is my asset. Play.
I want to get the word out for gatesletter.com.
And here in the URL field, you will see that we are using,
it'd be great
this
if
is
we
the
could
format
create
that enables
a viral
HLS
video.
v3. That
Viral
works
video.
good
I mean,
in
it's hard to
Android
do
devices.
stuff like that. I mean,
Okay.
like it's hard to make a viral video.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys like the demo? We will say that, thank you, Marianos. Actually, he's too humble that he actually built the extension SDK on top of our .NET SDK so that you guys can finish a media workflow within 10 lines of code. So I really think that's a great contribution. That's why he deserves some time on the stage to present his own extension SDK. So we also will flash the QR code later that you can try on your phone, that you can get different format based on whatever phone that you're using, okay? And I leave with you guys some of the useful information as well if you want to check out dynamic packaging. And I will move on to the next topic is secure your media. What option do you have with VAMs? Very tricky topic, also a very dry topic, especially when we talk about content protection. But I hope that you guys can pay attention to this topic because it's important. So who usually need to secure the content? First of all, it could be people who are trying to stream premium content. Regardless how you are going to charge your user, piracy is a topic that you want to fight forever, that if you have a contract with studio, you got to put on content protection for your media so that it doesn't get stolen. And the second type of customer would be enterprise. Take Microsoft as an example that we wouldn't want a training video of how to sell Windows 8.1 all over the web, right? So you want to restrict the training video access to employee only. However, in that case, piracy may not be a big concern because the resale value of an enterprise training video is not as high as a Hollywood movie. And lastly is live events, such as NBC Sports, that because the value of the live events usually decrease quickly after the soccer game is over, for instance. So piracy sometimes is not a big concern as well for live events. However, you still want to prevent things like man-in-the-middle attack, which means someone eavesdrops on the communication and try to steal your content. Okay, so those are the category that probably one of you guys may fall into. If you do, you may need to think about how to protect your content. And what option do we have? So for now, in media services, we have two options. First of all, what we call AES Clear Key Dynamic Encryption. This is a brand new feature that we are shipping. And the second one is called DRM technology, which stands for Digital Rights Management Technology that we are using Microsoft's PlayReady technology. So what's the difference? Both of them, when the media gets transferred from the cloud storage into your player, the communication channel is encrypted. The bits are encrypted with AES so that even someone try to eavesdrop on the communication, they wouldn't understand what a bit is. Both of them use AES encryption. So the difference really, first of all, lies down to the key. For clear key dynamic encryption, the key is considered exposed on the client side. That the client could see the key, and also once they decrypt the content, there is a way to abstract the clear content from the client as well. So you really got to trust your client if you're using AES. Versus for DRM, it's a technology specially designed for media that neither the key or the content are exposed on the client side. The decoding of your media content is in a very secure DRM environment that in a very lower level of your operating system stack, so that your user can never abstract a clear content from their devices. So that's really the ultimate way to prevent piracy. And especially usually DRM technology that allows you to define more comprehensive licensing agreement. As a user, most of us may hate it. It's like you got to finish the movie within the next 48 hours, or you can only watch the movie 3 times, right? We're all familiar with those business model. And DRM technology allows business to do that, okay? And this is a quick slide to compare these two technologies side to side. Both of them provide certain level of AES encryption over the wire, but for clear key AES, you got to trust your client, is a lower cost solution compared to DRM technology, because for DRM, you got to use DRM client SDK on your player so that you can understand the license agreement to get the stream decrypted. However, a lot of client SDK are not free, and also you may not be able to get to every single platform. That particular DRM may not even have a client SDK on that particular platform, okay? And if we take a closer look at AES, this is how AES works. That I have a video content, and I will put it into cloud storage in the format of multi-bit MP4. Instead of serving the content out, what I'm going to do now is I got to define the following. First of all, I got to say, I want to do dynamic encryption on my assets. Go and encrypt my assets. And I'm supplying a content key and also a content key authorization policy to say, how do I want the content key to be given to the user? Do you want to put a token authorization or IP or open? You can define that in on that particular asset. And when our origin server gets the information, it will go ahead and dynamically encrypt a AES encrypted HLS stream and also a AES encrypted smooth streaming over HTTP to the player. So now the media gets encrypted. When the player gets the encrypted bits, the player got to have the key to decrypt the content, right? That was where, first of all, usually what happened is, say, Netflix will have its own subscriber database, and Netflix will authenticate the user to say, okay, you are eligible to watch the content, and Netflix will return the user a token if Netflix sets token restriction. And then the player will go ahead and request a key from VAM's key services with the valid token. So now we have the capability to verify whether your player has the right token or not, and we will return you the key. One thing to pay attention is this key communication happens over HTTPS, so that the key will not exposed over the communication and it is secured. Okay? So that's sort of what I just talked about in terms of the server side. And on the client, we are shipping Windows 8 cache plugin, so you can play back AES encrypted smooth streaming content. And as a lot of you guys already know, iOS natively supports decryption of AES encrypted HLS stream. And lastly is the Flash OSMF plugin that could quickly decrypt AES encrypted smooth streaming content. Okay, that's the player we offer so that you can play back AES encrypted stream. And lastly is like the future plan that the service right now is in private preview. We only have one customer, which I will talk about it later, but we are opening the gate fairly soon that if you want to have a taste of the service, you can definitely email me that I can evaluate with our team and get you guys on board. So I will quickly show you guys a demo to see how that works with our API. So I will switch to my laptop. Oh yeah, that's true, thanks. So on the Visual Studio, I'm going to do a quick walkthrough of the code API because there are a lot of code involved here. So first of all, I get connected to the service programmatically. Let me just enlarge. Can you guys see in the back? Good? Okay, so after that, I will do the same thing, which I query a encoder MP4 so that we skip the encoding time. And I will get the output asset. So instead of making the asset available for streaming, first of all, I'm going to generate a content key for my service to use to encrypt my content. And I will just quickly step through the code that I generate a content key and attach the content key to that particular asset. I say, go and encrypt the content using this content key. And after that, very importantly, that you can tell us how do you want us to authorize the key to the user. So here, I'm using token restriction, okay? So I can say, go ahead and use token restriction. And then you also have the choice to say, I want to restrict both token and IP. The user has to give me the right token, and they have to be in the US. You can do that as well. And after that, the third step is really important, which is to configure the key acquisition URI, which means when the user gets the manifest, they will know where the key server is to grab the AES key, which that's also supplied in your code to our server, so my server can generate that in the manifest, which we will see later when we run through the code. And the last step is really to just configure the access deliver policy that I say, I want to do dynamic encryption, and I want to apply that to smooth streaming and HLS protocol. Of course, in the future, we can add a dash as well. And lastly, you say, please apply those policy configuration on the particular assets. And then lastly, when you define all those things, you just create a streaming locator for streaming out a encrypted content. So I know this is pretty fast because I don't want you guys to really look into every single method and API, but rather just get a sense of what steps are going through the code, okay? And now if I copy the URL, which is the streaming locator I get, let's take a look at the manifest. So you will see here the content protection header. That's actually the core of this feature that you can see there is a key URL here. That is where the user can retrieve the key if they present the right token. And also the content protection header shows that the whole stream is getting protected, okay? So now let's see how we get this playback, okay? First of all, I'm using a Windows 8 player app that I can paste in the URL of the bits. So of course, for now, I wouldn't be able to play back because it's content protected. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the token here. It's a little hike for this demo because remember, as I said, usually what happens is should be you have your own authentication system, and then once the user supply the right credential to you, and you got to issue them the token, but now I'm just going to I'm just going to quickly copy the token here so that we can get the key and then get a video encrypted, okay, decrypted. And now let me open Fiddler. I will show you guys what happened behind the scene. So I'm going to play this video now. That my player is going to firstly grab the manifest, and then the second step is they go to request for the key and then decrypt the content. So this is a very interesting video that the main character in the video may want to really secure this content. So let's take a look. So you guys can see that why he wants to put the AES content protection. So if we look at Fiddler, okay, you can see right now, first of all, here, this is the player that issue a request for the top manifest, okay? And after that, there is a HTTPS request which to the key server. And it gives the key ID to say that, hey, I got to request a key. And if we further look at this request, right, it's actually a token here that in the authentication header. That was where the player is go ahead and grab the key. And after that, you can see that's all the video stream that just gets coming in, and the player can play back the content using the key to decrypt it, okay? So let's come back to the PC. So that's about AES. So I want to quickly to just use 1 minute to talk about PlayReady because this technology definitely deserves a session on its own, which we never really actively talk about it, but that's the current solution we have in the system that when you have a video clip, you could go and put a PlayReady protection on smooth streaming by supplying us the license acquisition URL, the key ID, and the content key, okay? So where can I find the license acquisition URL? Where can I find the server? Right now, we only have a partner doing that. EasyDRM, you can find it in the store, that they will give you a PlayReady DRM license server that you can configure so that we can encrypt the file using the pre-encrypted file. And our origin server will just go ahead and serve out a PlayReady encrypted smooth streaming stream. And your client got to talk to the PlayReady server to request a license and get a license back. Okay? So that's how it works now. And you may notice, hey, this is static packaging. Are you not doing dynamic packaging anymore? And also, will VAM host our own PlayReady server? Those are all very good questions, and we definitely are working on that to make a first-party service. So I leave with you guys some of the information. I know this part of the session is pretty fast because there are really a lot of things you need to do to configure a secure delivery. So I would recommend you guys all this information to read about later. And I mentioned that there is one single customer we have right now for AES, which I believe if piracy is not a major issue, that you can certainly use AES. It's a perfect example for enterprise video, for instance. And that one particular customer is Office 365. If you watched the SharePoint conference last month, that Office launched a video portal based on SharePoint that allows enterprise to do video knowledge sharing within the organization. And you authenticate your employee using AD, and all the video stream are encrypted using AES feature that I just talked about. So it's really a perfect example here. I wouldn't show a demo, but I do encourage you to go and check out the SharePoint conference keynote happened a month ago, and they did talk about this video portal, okay? And lastly, I think let's move on to, yeah, forget this one. So we already have a lot of customers right now on Windows Azure Media Services. And because of Office 365, we definitely hope that your organization could be one of our customers in the future as well. And now let's move on to the last part, which is live streaming. Any of you guys planning to use live streaming feature in this room? Okay, cool. Oh, I see so many hands here. You guys probably are waiting for 40 minutes to get to this part. So live streaming enables you to stream live content directly through public cloud, which is Windows Azure in this case. We support multiple formats such as smooth streaming, HLS, and Dash. I would say live streaming is really one of the perfect example for cloud computing because you really, when events go viral, you may need so many machines. And by using cloud, you can just do that, quickly, and you don't have to bear all those capital expenses. Currently, this feature is still in private preview, but usually we approve most of the customers. And we have more than 70 customers right now in the tab. And we are figuring the business model to make this feature available to public. So how does live streaming works? It's actually really simple that first of all, you got to feed the live stream from your camera on the event place to us through something called ingest URL. We give you a URL. You configure that with your encoding machine. We do not have live encoding yet. We only take smooth streaming as the input format. Okay? So after you give that to us, what we will do is we are provisioning a channel for you, which could be VMs behind this channel. And this channel has the first module is ingest module. What it does is to receive the live stream and forward it to preview module. So what does preview module do is to give you a chance to, first of all, monitor your stream to see is there anything happen, or to put voiceover. In those football match, people can watch the match and then give commentary, and the voice goes back to the ingest point and then do it together with the real-time game. So that's how it works. So we give you a preview URL. You can inspect your stream, whether it's going good or bad. And after that, if you want to give the content to your user, it got to go to program module, which that was where your content gets persist. That you will get the live DVR. Let's say if I set my live DVR with 1 hour, your user can actually watch up to 1 hour content from the live position. Okay? And also program is used to say if your live streaming is over, when you stop the live streaming, it will write to the blob storage that this live clip will become video on demand immediately for user to access later on. And also we have dynamic packaging. Remember the feature we talked about just now, that the video file could be dynamically packaged into HLS or Dash so that people from iPhone or HTML5 player can watch the live content as well. Okay, so I think it's easier to grab the concept when we do a demo of a live streaming of you guys. So let's welcome Marianos.
Okay, thank you. Let me switch to my, Okay, well, let's start by taking a look at the Azure Management Portal. Here we have 2 media services accounts that were already enabled for the live services private preview. So that's why you can see there is a new channels tab in the portal, right? Here in the channels tab, you can see all my channels that were created in my account. I have 3 channels. 2 of them are already running and ready to start a live stream. And for this demo, I'm going to use the Build 2014 channel, and I have another one, just a backup, just in case, right? Okay, so I will copy the ingest URL. This is what Min Fei mentioned. I will switch to expression encoder. Why we need expression encoder? Because we have to take the stream from the camera and encode it into multi-bit rates smooth streaming before sending to the channel ingest. This is because live encoding is not yet ready inside the live services, the media services live. So for now, we have to use an encoder. I am using expression encoder, but you can use any other encoding tool you want, right? So let's configure this. I will set the publishing point to my ingest URL. Click connect. this is not important, and I will start streaming. Okay? Okay, well, let me switch back to the portal, and here, directly from the portal, we can take a look at the preview URL that also Ming-Fei mentioned.
Front row, front row.
Let's play it. Okay, we have to wait a few seconds because...
There's a certain delay because we're running into the cloud.
And we have an encoder, yeah. So here we are. This is the, yeah, it has audio. Oh, I should shoot this, right.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Okay. Well, the thing is, this is the preview URL. This is not a real stream. This is just that you can use this URL just to do a tech check to see if the output of your encoder is being received in your channel. And you can also use it, as Ming-Fei mentioned, you can use it for voiceover tools. Okay, so now let's start a real stream. So we can put the live stream available through our origin servers. But before doing that, let me open another site we have prepared for the demo. This site is very similar to the other one, but instead of listing the asset, it's going to list the programs that we have in our account running. So far we have no programs running, so we are not listing anything. But I am about to start a new one. Just clicking this Start Streaming button in the portal. And this is going to do a few things. It's going to create a new asset, then it's going to create a program inside your channel and associate that program with this asset that you created, and then it will publish the asset with an origin locator. Okay, this should take only a few seconds. When this is ready, I will switch to the site. We can see the live stream from a program. Okay, it is done. I will refresh the site, and here it is, my program. I will click it, and this is the live stream out of the origin server.
I will switch to the
And here we are using a full stream. Yeah, that's me.
Okay, it is done.
But as Ming-Fei mentioned, we can also use dynamic packaging because it is all in the same origin server. So I will switch to MPEG-Dash, and we have the live stream through MPEG-Dash as well.
And I'm showing it on my phone right now, that of the live stream as well in HLS. Okay?
Yeah, and it's also working on Android. If you have an Android device, you will see the same live stream, but through HLS v3, right?
Actually, I have a favor to ask. That, I always come to build, but I never got to show my team that how much you guys like the session. So if you guys don't mind, would you mind of climbing for us, okay? So that I can show my team, okay? 1, 2, 3, go. Wow, they're doing really good. Okay. I was thinking of, okay, that's fine. Okay. I was thinking of doing the second take. But Marianos, do you think you can cut off my saying just now? Just show the part that they're clever.
Yes, actually, we can do that.
Really? That's a live stream?
Yes. Actually, there is a new feature in the live streaming services. It is a preview feature that allowed us to perform a fast subclip out of a live streaming source. So
Let's do that.
Let's do that. Okay. So I will open. To do this, I will be using a video editor because we need to know where the cut should be placed. In this case, I'm using the Microsoft Media Platform Video Editor, which is an open source editor. It's also known as the rough cut editor or the RCE. We have configured this editor to get the assets from our Media Services Live Enable account. So in the library, what we are seeing is the program, right? So I will drag the program to the subclip tool.
Yeah, cut apart, they start clapping,
Where is this? We have to find the part where you are clapping. Okay. This should be.
Or myself, that's fine.
Okay, here. I don't know. Okay, we can do this because the program has a default debug window size of 1 hour. So this allowed us to seek back 1 hour before the live position, right? So we'll just create this clip by clicking a marquee here and let's say a marquee out there. I will drag the clip to my sequence timeline and I can also play it back. okay? And let's say I will pick this frame as a thumbnail.
You should definitely pick a better thumbnail.
Yeah, okay. I will click Save, okay? And that's it. It just took like 1 second to generate the clip. It actually took more time for me to show you the video editor than the clip generation itself. So I will go to the site and refresh.
Oh,
and this
now
is
see the
our
highlights.
clip. Let me play back. And here we have the clip. Okay, I was mute. That's why you didn't hear. And again, I can switch to MPEG-Dash because this is all through the same origin server, and we have the same stream, the same clip through MPEG-Dash, and smooth streaming, HLS, all the dynamic packaging features. Okay, finally, okay, what did I do? Let's switch to the stream. Okay. Okay, the last part of this the demo is to show what happens at the end of the live event. Let's say, okay, we have this session, and we are about to end, and we want the live stream to be available as soon as possible as a live archive, right? So how can we do that? Let me go back to the portal inside the channel, and this is our program that is running. I will stop the program. This will also take a few seconds. And once the program is stopped, our whole live stream will be available as a VOD, and you can, even using the same URL. So you don't need to change the live source URL. It will become automatically as a VOD asset. So okay, the program was stopped. Let me switch here. I will refresh and click the source. And as you can see here, now this is no longer a live stream. This is the full recording from our camera since the program was started. Here you can see the full duration in the play. So, and again, I can switch this to MPEG-Dash and have the same live stream. And also the clips works as well, right? Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's pretty much it for the demo.
You guys like it?
Okay.
You know, he was trying out last night in the hotel midnight and pinged me that Mingfei doesn't work. The reason being the hotel throttling streaming protocol, so he couldn't get it work over hotel Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So I guess this guy did not sleep last night. But and where's my clipper? Oh, here. This is also his first presentation in English, so
Yeah.
good. They understand, I think.
Thank you.
So we published the website. You can check it out, bit.ly/BLDlive. Or we also have the website bit.ly/BLD video that you can see the clip on your devices. And if your device doesn't work, come to me. That's definitely the device we need to test on to improve in the future. Okay? And I think we come to the end of the presentation. And that's the information that we want to leave to you guys. I think the best way to learn is to get your hands dirty, go out and try the SDK, try the features. We give you guys 200 credits to play around with the service. And also, all the information will be published on my blog, mingfeiwai.com later. And do note down my email if you want to have any questions later on. And I think that's all for the session. I only want to leave one thing to you guys that by working in this industry for some time, I really felt this is the most exciting moment that we start to see, the TV industry getting transformed really quickly. The way how you watch content gets improved dramatically. It's like same way as how you read news, how you listen to music. Now it's about how you watch your video, right? And therefore, I think you guys are really great that you're here paying attention for this video delivery industry, and I hope we work together could provide better experience for our audience. Okay? Thank you very much for listening. And there's one thing that I want to say, that we have another session just right after this one by Martin, my teammate in the team, that he got to talk about a lot more successful customer examples. That in which room is your session? Sorry. 30. Trio22. So if you guys are happy with media services, want to know more, go ahead and attend his session. And I think I will not keep you guys longer, but if you have any questions, I think we take one more. Yeah. Not using what? Sorry? IP camera. You're using an IP. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
What about using an IP camera? Should also use the expression encoder?
Oh, okay, that question. So I think usually for events, you can use any camera that you want. We do not have live encoding now. Otherwise, you can just feed us the raw stream, right? So now you can choose to use a special encoder. That's one of the options. But there are many, many encoders out there that as long as your output is smooth streaming, that's the format that we can take. So you can use whatever software that you want to do the encoding. Yeah. It's a pity that we do not have live encoding for now, but that's something that we are really working on as a team. Thank you. So the question is, can I serve my file from CDN? So you may notice that even for secure delivery, what's the protocol that I serve out my AES encrypted HLS? What's the protocol? HTTP, right? Which means for CDN, there's just a dumb server that they forward HTTP package, right? As long as I'm sending out through a normal protocol, it works with any CDN. That's the benefit of using adaptive streaming formats. Yeah, so it works with any CDN and with Azure CDN or any third party such as Akamai. Yeah. One more question, yeah.
What's the roadmap for MSE and the integration for common encryption so you can do what you guys are doing with player-ready integration, i.e. and Chrome is doing with Netflix?
So the question is about whether we support CENC. Common encryption. So the answer is yes. Right now for static packaging, we support CENC, common encryption schema that you can, as long as you tell us the player-ready license URL, the key and the key ID, we do the encryption for you. But we do not have player-ready server available yet. So it's a little bit painful that you got to configure another server yourself or using our partners such as EasyDRM. But as I said in the demo, that there is definitely something that we're working on right now to have our own player-ready server as well as dynamic packaging for player-ready in the future as well. Yeah. I think I revealed too much information in the session. Okay. I think that's all.
There is one more question.
Oh, one more question. Okay.
Why was the expression encoded Pro was discontinued? I mean, this was so useful too, and now we cannot buy it.
I think that's a question you should ask Satya.
Using it, and it was really useful. Now we have to go and search for strange.
I agree with you, I know all the developers from that team that I think you should definitely tell Satya this is not the right thing, Okay, thank you very much and enjoy build, guys. Thanks.